Mario Lemieux is a shark in a deal that has no franchise happy that happened to be involved, as Marty Brodeur ends up being a Penguin. This does mean that there are other trades we're going to be making here, because, of course, that includes us needing the best top-line playmaker we can get. It might be Garpenlov. What if we do forward, playmaker, left-handed, with an X factor? Straka, who's the highest rated? Could be bringing back Joe Juno. Could be bringing back Garpenlov. It could be Straka. Now, if Lemieux wasn't there to buy the Pens, does the team move? Oh, yeah, you're off to Kansas City. Has Joe Juno actually been a playmaker? Kind of. Garpenlov, definitely a playmaker. But making a deal with the Avs is scary. Straka is pure playmaker. Okay, Straka was on Tampa. Here's the thing that I'm thinking, though. We have Ray Whitney. Ray Whitney is a playmaker. So we might actually not need anybody. Because in theory, Gretzky is now the third line center, which means the left wing is going to have to be a sniper because that top line is set. Peter Nedved can suck it. You're out of here, pal. Peter Nedved's 100% out. We're not going to get the most out of Forsberg with that particular deal. But then again, because Neely's also a power forward, we need a sniper on that line. That top line, by the way, is fucking ridiculous. We could keep Fopa around. Neely's done all right. I love me some Cam Neely, but Forsberg's also been more of a passer. Forsberg or Neely has to go. Nedved's going to be out, too. How good? Brett Hull. Right wing sniper to put up a shitload of goals on the third line. Brett Hull. He's our guy. We'll use Nedved. We'll use Cam Neely. And whatever else we have to use. If we didn't already have an all-star team, we're certainly calling it an all-star team now. We're going teal. We went teal is going to be the call if we can get this to go through. It's going to take a lot. Let's use our own first. That's why we got it back. Peter Nedved, Cam Neely, a first in 2 seconds. Still not enough. Peter Nedved, Cam Neely, 2 firsts for Brett Hull and a throwaway. Still not enough. Look, we overpaid last year on Tony Granato, and we were 2 wins away from the Cup. I'm willing to overspend here. It's what we got the picks for. Nedved, Neely, and 3 firsts. He might. They don't want to get rid of him, man. He might be too expensive. He honestly might be. I am still worried about Chara. We do have this Gaudreau guy as well as a top prospect that we can throw into the mix. He might be a little bit more valuable than the first. What about that Montreal first? How close are we? Brett Hall is too expensive. I don't think we have the assets to get them to budge. That's a shame. So if we look at forwards, right-handed snipers, who fits on this team? Dmitry Kristich. If it's not him, it's Ray Shepard or Emerson on the Blues. Kristich is a pure playmaker, even though he's a sniper. He doesn't fit. Ray Shepard, more of a playmaker. Emerson, more of a playmaker. Audette sucks. Richer does score. Solani. Dude, we couldn't get Brett Hall. How the fuck do you think I'm going to get Solani? Use your brain. Use your brain. Asking nicely. I'm not responding nicely. All right. What if we go for this guy instead? Brett, you need to be a shark. You absolutely need to be a shark. Peter Nedved. I can't trust Chara, but I also then don't know how the fuck I'm going to replace him. What if we use Chara? What if we use Goodrow? What if we use Neely? I'm going to have to add a little bit more just in terms of throwaway dudes on AHL deals, preferably ones that they want to trade away. Nedved, Chara, Goodrow, and Neely. Dude, Brett's like 35 years old. They're out of their mind. Nedved, Chara, Goodrow, Neely, and a first. They're out of their fucking mind that they won't take this. Holy shit. Okay. Let's go talk. I think it was New Jersey. Richer. And if Hall becomes available at the deadline, we'll do what we have to do. But for now, it's back to Neely and Nedved. We'll try to get Stefan Richer to be that third-line scorer. Wow, Jeff Courtnall fell off a cliff. We can bring him back in, though. That is a bold strategy. That GM does not want to be known as the guy that traded away Brett Hall. There we go. Neely and Nedved are off to New Jersey. It's not the sexiest name that we could have brought in. But it will work. Do we need Courtnall? No, we don't. Send Jeff down. Okay. So to look at the new lines then, it is going to be Whitney, Lemieux, Bure, Elias, Datsuk, Granato, Forsberg, Gretzky, Richer, Thornton, Green, and Barnaby. I'm going to double check if our coach is still the best fit. Pronger, Zubov. We're going to go Chara, Brown, Ozelinch, and Numanen still. Goaltenders are now Tim Thomas and Jim Carey. Because we could not rely upon Marty Brodeur, but now we do have Mario Lemieux. So, this team's too top-heavy. We'll see. We'll see. I can't believe they wouldn't fucking trade Brett Hull for that. I was building up a fucking dynasty for the Blues, and they said, no thanks. Let's get rid of the goalie coach in the AHL really quickly. So, Bork, 67% fit. Geispers, 56. Sawchuk, 61. Throat Goat, 56. Hope, 61. That's 67. Might be our best bet. Joseph, 53. And Forbes, 61. Okay, so Bork stays as head coach. Let's see what happens over the next little bit. If any other adjustments have to be made before the deadline as we try to fine-tune it. We're doing what we can. It's a lot of time investment, but it worked out really well last year up until it didn't. We haven't lost this month until that game against Calgary. This was a pretty damn good month for us, though. 38, 17, 7, and 2. In first place in our division by a ridiculous margin. 83 points to 66 for the Coyotes. Very nice, very nice. Where do we stand league-wise? I'm sure Colorado's still ahead of us. The Rangers have already clinched a playoff spot. We are 4th in the league outright and on point percentage. Behind Detroit, Colorado, and New York. Montreal's the kind of other team in the Big Five. Everyone else falls below 60% win percentage. Let's see how the boys have done so far since being acquired. If we have any other problems right here before the deadline. Goalie-wise, Thomas a 902, Jim Carey not so hot, but Thomas is literally doing as well as Marty Brodeur was. We could always find a third goalie to rotate between at the deadline. Defensively, how has Pronger been since being reacquired? He's been fine. Not amazing. Not what he was last year, but he's been fine. Zubov now back into the plus. I mean, Chara, when healthy, is a great combination with Jeff Brown. And the third pair has gotten better throughout the year. Teppo Newman is still a little bit concerning, but the defense is looking all right. Ray Whitney is loving life. How has Lemieux done? Tough to argue against results like that. Shout out to the Sean Squatch for the 9 months. It's a boy. His name is Mario. I hope you enjoy. Lemieux has been fantastic so far since being acquired. And Bure, as well, has just been great this year. Still, again, goal-wise, not quite. I mean, then again, his shooting percentage is down almost 4%, so he's just had some bad luck. Patrick Elias, still looking good point-wise, plus-minus-wise, Datsuk. Datsuk's still been disappointing point-wise, but it's also not all on him to score. So, that's okay. Same for Tony Granato. I mean, these guys earn my trust for the playoffs. Peter Forsberg, still looking really good. Gretzky, still looking good, but how has Richer done since he's gotten here? 14 points in 13 games, 7-7, not bad. There might be an argument to get Brett Hull if the Blues are trying to give him up. Let's go to the deadline. At the very least, we know a third goalie, just in case. Straka's out there, Marty McInnes, Wendell Clark. Straka was a playmaker, but again, we have a left wing already. Shout out to Link as well for the 22 beautiful months. Link, welcome back. Do we trust Al Iafrate over Zdeno Chara? Iafrate should be a good fit alongside Jeff Brown. I'm just worried about Chara's injuries. I think that's fair. Ronald Castles, Billy Guerin. There aren't any top goalies available. Shout out to Adam Oates. Playmaker, but he wins almost every Selkie. Felix Potvin's back out there. What do the Cats' numbers look like? I can't look from here. Oh, Felix Potvin is the top goalie available. There's also Marty Biron. I want to get Al Iafrate here. I don't know if I'm trading Chara, but I want Iafrate even as a healthy scratch, just in case Chara can't be relied upon. I think I need a backup right defenseman as well. I definitely do, because otherwise it's Duvie Westcott. This right here is going to be about getting insurance. Oh, that's right. I could hit the right stick at the stat screen. My bad. I forgot about that. I knew I could look at him. I was just blanking on how to. We do have some depth at left wing-ish. We definitely have some center depth with Chris Drury. I mean, obviously, Iafrate is a big fucking investment for insurance. But that's a part of going all in. Did they have a goalie? They also have Bob Beers as a right defenseman, who they don't want to get rid of, but that could, again, be great depth for us. They have a goalie. Casey, Braithwaite. We got the net detective. Now we can get John Casey, but he hasn't been great. Fred Braithwaite's been good in the minors. We'll avoid the goalie for now. Whoops. So we'll go Iafrate, Bob Beers. What do we want to give up to get this deal done? I mean, we got the first. I knew I'd have to add somebody. Actually, right side, we have Michael Roosevelt, who's not that much worse than Bob Beers. Huffman, too. Maybe that's not worth it. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I mean, Huffman as a third pair isn't bad. It would push Ozelinch into a more relied upon role. We got to go for it. We got to go for it. All in. We've wheeled and dealed to this point. We're going to go all in. Let's add Earl to the deal. We'll add Bates to the deal. And we know we're going to have to use picks. Devils, what's up? Just got accepted in my transfer. My number one choice, literally finding out now. Well, congratulations. I hope. I can't even make a joke about this. I hope it goes well for you. I've heard the Clown College is incredibly exclusive. Yeah, there's the joke. It's not a great one. Sports management major. Ooh. Well, if you ever get a job, you know where to find an AGM who can overpay for every trade. Al Iafrate and Bob Beers, welcome in. Okay, I need another goalie. Just someone who's not as fucking expensive as Marty Brodeur. They got to be on the block, too, because I really don't want to give up much to get him. Give me a high overall goalie, maybe. Dominik Hasek. The Dominator, who has kicked the crap out of us in the playoffs before. Now could be a great time to bring in Hasek. See what we can do. Get some higher draft picks here. We're just going to keep wheeling and dealing and flipping. Take out a fourth. We can take out a third. Re-add a fourth. Welcome in Dominik Hasek. Okay, so that is our backup goalie. That's our 7th and 8th defenders sorted. So between Thomas, Hasek, and Jim Carey, someone's got to be able to make a goddamn save. Defensively, we've added Al Iafrate as a fucking depth option. Right wing, if there's an injury, it'll be Milan Hajduk that steps up. Left wing, it'd be Dave Lowry or Pavel Dimitra, maybe even Tony Twist. And at center, Chris Drury. The only other move we could try is once again to try to get Brett Hull, even though they're not trying to trade him. I gotta try. I mean, Hull is broken in this game. Even though Richier's been good for us, Hull has just been absolutely broken, and now's the time to try to get him. Adam Oates was just traded to the Coyotes, so we're gonna have to deal with that. We have this prospect in Gaudreau. What about Gaudreau and Richer? Not enough. What about a couple of thirds? Still no. I haven't been the best viewer as of late. But I haven't been the best viewer because college. How dare you? It's all right. We're even. I traded Marty Brodeur to Pittsburgh. So, we're even. Richer, Gaudreau, 2 seconds and a third. What about 3 seconds? Dude, they just do not want to get rid of Brett Hull. What if we use the Habs first? A second and a third. A first, 2 seconds. Goodrow and Richer. Holy shit. 2 first, Goodrow and Richer for Brett Hull. And a second. Dookie, why do you always trade for people that are on the block? Because this happens. Fictional person. That isn't fictional. Richer, Goodrow, and 3 first-rounders for Brett Hull. All 3 of these first that you want. I guess we'll take out Richer and I'll keep him on the team as a scratch. Whatever. Who can I use that's more valuable than Stefan Richer that they want? I'll try Teppo. I'll try Chara if I have to. What about Teppo Numminen? Chara should do it. You can't retain salary when salary cap is off. Goodrow, Chara, and 3 firsts for Brett Hull. Welcome in, Brett. Yeah, I bet no one will doubt that you won that. Holy shit. We're going all in, man. We're going all in. I don't care. Chara's injury concerns. We already brought in Iafrate. I just got to flip out Richer for whatever I can get. Ideally, draft picks now. I mean, technically, I could hold on to him. Honestly, having Stefan Richer as a scratch would be pretty damn good. No salary cap, correct. That's why we can do this. We got 3 goalies. Someone has to make a save. Zubov, Pronger, Iafrate, Brown, Newman, and Ozolinsh with Bob Beers and Huffman as the depth, which is okay. It could be better. Stefan Richer steps in if there's an injury to a right wing. We could technically get a better depth left wing, and the depth center is Chris Drury. So a better depth left D and a better depth left wing. Depending on the value and how likely it'll be we can actually acquire them. Derek King, Russ Courtnall, Billy Guerin. Who do we have for left D? Zarley Zalapsky. Can we make a deal for Zarley Zalapsky? We'll use Huffman. We still have some picks. It'll be Huffman, a second, and a fourth for Zalapsky. That's an improved left D depth option. Marty McInnes is a right wing. Got Wendell. Derek King might be our best option. Marty Jelena. Ryan Savage, Randy Burridge. Let's go for Martin Jelena, Rip Zarley. Rip Zarley, indeed. Zarley Zalapsky passed away a couple years ago. More than a couple years ago, didn't he? Yeah, like 2017. Marty Jelena. Be an improved depth option at left wing. Just use Cote because they want him. And we have the draft picks to do it. I mean, we're going nuts, man. I'm desperate. Okay, Jelena doesn't go yet. What about a couple of thirds? Okay. We're set. This is about as good of a team as we possibly could have put together. Is it going to be too good? Maybe. We'll claim Paul Ranheim for nothing because why not? We got all the depth that we're going to need. I'm a little bit worried. Actually, not going to call up Jim Carey. We'll let him be in the minors. We'll call him up if we need to. 2 depth defensemen. Actually, in fairness, Bob Beers. No, Bob Beers needs to stay. Then we got Riche as a scratch. Jelen as a scratch. Somebody got sent down, didn't they? Scott Thornton. All right, well, Thornton's not going anywhere. So we'll risk Bob Beers. We did lose Bob Beers on waivers, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. So, best lines in the AHL. Best lines in the NHL. Whitney, Lemieux, Bure, Eliash, Datsuk, Granato. Forsberg, Gretzky, Hull. Thornton, Green, and Barnaby. Defense is Pronger, Zubov, Zalapsky. Got the Zalapsky was going to be depth. Let's get our captain back in there for the moment. If we were to take Ozelinch out, we get a +2. I'm going to leave Zalapsky out. I'm going to keep our captain in there. I have Frady Brown, still a good combination. Again, I didn't want to get rid of Chara, but how's that for some healthy scratches? I'm going to double check to see how well our coach fits this team. Brett Hull has 71 goals in 65 games, so he was absolutely worth the price. I didn't. Oh, there's a Tuomo Ruutu in this year's draft. I wanted to go at the very top, the coaching staff. I was just getting used to going the player search. So one more time, Bork, 67% fit. Geispers does not usurp. Sawchuk. Nope. The Throat Goat. Nope. Mr. Hope. No. Joseph. Nope. And Forbes. No. Okay, so Bork is still the best coach we can get for the job right now. Maybe Setaguchi or well, actually, there's a couple of A's there. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna let go of a couple of AHL coaches and try to bring these guys in instead to see if any of them would be a better fit for the NHL head coaching job. So Reese Setaguchi, Manny Molly was the other. The Malhi. Wants a boatload of money, he does. And EA, just let me hit right trigger or right bumper, and you max out the offer I can send to him. That's it. That's all I want. Please and thank you. All right. We got a freaking homestand here going on. Setaguchi signed. Crushed Tampa. Molly signed. Steve Smith is on waivers. Of course, we'll claim him. And we beat Edmonton as well. All right. So just to see, one more time. Again, Bork is at 67%. Setaguchi, 55%. And the Molly, 65%. All right, Bork is the best. I mean, there was one more out there technically, but Bork is the best scheme fit coach we can possibly get. So let's run. We have clinched a playoff spot, which we knew was going to happen. It's just how good are we going to be? Can we avoid major injuries? And can we get it done this year and win the cup? We couldn't do it last year. We fell just short, again, by 2 games. Matt Barnaby probably out till the start of the playoffs or close to it. Paul Ranheim's healthy. And we won, 50 games last year? Barnaby's fully healed. Stefan Richer on the fourth line is fucking hilarious. He's been great, though. 18 points in 16 games when he plays, but we're trying to balance all this game's nonsense as best we can. Making a new franchise record, at least in this timeline. 52 wins for the Sharks. God damn. In the first round, we draw the Los Angeles Kings. Calgary will play Arizona. Detroit and Toronto. Dallas and St. Louis. In the East, because of course, Quebec, but it's Montreal, Buffalo, Colorado, and Ottawa. Colorado, the defending Cup champs. And the New York Rangers will play the Flyers. The Islanders will play the Penguins. We finished as the third best team in the league, only behind Detroit and the New York Rangers. That is some competition, man. In terms of the points, we know Brett Hull led the team in points and had 78 goals. He had 17 points in 20 games, only 7 goals. So his shooting percentage went from 19% to 9%. Tampa's still in the West, yeah. Once you start a franchise, you can't rearrange the divisions. So Hull, I mean, he's a third liner. That's still a good contribution, but hopefully that shooting percentage jumps up for the playoffs. Pavel Bure, I mean, great season. Only 56 goals is a bit disappointing for him. That's his lowest point total in a very long time. Lowest goal total in a very long time. We'll still have to wonder if we bet on the wrong guy, taking him over Paul Kariya. Mario Lemieux, 39 points in 33 games since being acquired. He's loving life in California. Ray Whitney was great for us this year. The perfect playmaker. Peter Forsberg was also more of a playmaker this year. Gretzky found a scoring touch at age 39. Elias was great. We saw Richet's stats a second ago. Granato woke up in the back half of the season. Datsuk was still a bit disappointing offensively, but we'll take it. Jelena, of course, is depth for us. And then the fourth line lost their scoring touch in the regular season, but they were really good in the playoffs last year. Zubov looking good. Brown, how did I Afraidy do? Just 8 points in 20 games, but you know what? He stayed healthy. Something Chara really struggled to do. How did Pronger do once we acquired him? Completely turned his season around. He's loving life. Played those 26 games in Washington. Please never trade me again. Goalie-wise, I don't know how many games Hasek played for us. 7, and he was terrible. So Tim Thomas is the guy come playoff time. At 23 years old, it is going to be Timmy's job to lose. Brett Hull won the scoring title this year over Domfus, Yzerman, Craig Janney. Hull's missing Craig Janney. And Ron Francis. Top goal scorers were Hull, Yzerman, Domfus, Bure, and Madano, who was tied with LaFontaine. So Bure was 4th in goal scoring. I can't be that upset. Zach, I'm not that upset, so my night's been going well. How are you? Defensively, yeah, Brian Leach continues to be the premier offensive defenseman. You had Gary Suter, Rob Blake, Kevin Hatcher, and Phil Housley, top 5 in scoring. Again, though, Blake, he was ahead of Zubov, but he just wasn't a fit with Pronger. You do have to wonder if Blake would have been a good fit with Niedermeyer. Each scored the most goals. Housley, Suter, McInnes, and Rob Blake. Winningest goaltender, Patrick Waugh for the New York Rangers. Top save percentage, Fise. You don't say. And Steve Shields. Save percentage king was Dominic Roussel. Among starter, it was actually Jocelyn Tebow at a 9-1-1 alongside Patrick Waugh. And Mike Dunham, 2 goalies that have been on this team recently and decide to be good once they're off of it. As shout out, you know what? We traded him because he wasn't going to have a spot here. We kept Wayne Gretzky instead. Maybe we will live to regret trading Mark Savard. He's probably going to win the Calder for New Jersey. Maybe, just maybe, we will live to regret that deal, huh? Time will tell. It's playoff time again. We questioned whether or not last year was the run. Time to find out if this year will be the run.